Iron Dominion Saga is one of the longest story arcs the comics have produced, clocking in at 16 issues, 12 in the main series and 4 in Sonic Universe. There's mixed opinions about this saga from the fans, but since this is my channel, we're going to focus on my opinions. And today we'll begin with issue 201. Before we begin, let's briefly recap how we got here. Snively, Eggman's lackey and nephew, is frustrated with how his boss is running things, so he makes contact with a sub-boss named Regina and they begin planning a takeover. Once Snively learns that Eggman is going crazy over beating Sonic, he and Regina accelerated their scheme. Sonic and his friends invaded Eggman's base, and his soldiers, the Dark Egg Legion, didn't put up much of a fight because A. Eggman wanted to finish Sonic personally, and B. They're in on Snively and Regina's plan. Sonic defeated Eggman as always, and that's when the Doctor's mind snapped. Snively guilts the heroes to leave them alone. Yeah. Snively shoved Eggman into a padded cell and welcomed Regina, aka the Iron Queen, as the new ruler of the Eggman Empire. The issue begins with the citizens of New Mobotropolis celebrating Eggman's defeat in the Colosseum. Sonic, however, is still bothered by Eggman losing it after the latest battle, even though the Doctor has committed numerous atrocities. Sally tells him to relax and enjoy the show. Said show is a rock concert featuring Mina Mongoose and her band, the Forget-Me-Nots. However, Mother Nature has other ideas. Actually, the lightning blast is from our old headache, Monkey Kong. He calls out everyone for celebrating too soon while the rest of the world is suffering. Sonic sees this as an excuse to get out of his funk. Meanwhile, Espio is meditating in his house. I guess he's not interested in rock and roll. He sees the disturbance at the Colosseum and decides to investigate. More with him in a moment. Sonic and Monkey Kong are at a stalemate. Sonic even mentions their last conflict in issue 92. Memories. Horrible, horrible memories. Sally breaks up the fight and calls both of them out on their behavior. Khan explains to Sally while Eggman's out of the picture, someone else is now in charge. This brings us to the Egg Dome and the new bosses. The Lynx, conquering Storm, reports that only the Egg Dome is operational. The Iron King is not happy that they're in a dump of a city, but the Iron Queen reassures him that this is a temporary situation and they'll move the seat of power back to the Dragon Kingdom soon. There's also the fact that the Iron King doesn't seem to like Snively at all. Still, at Snively's suggestion, the Iron King and Conquering Storm leave to search for some weapons among the ruins. Hey, the king has a weapons collection. Gotta keep that hobby going. Dimitri comes in and asks for a reward for the Legion's part in the coup. Namely, remove the explosives from their cybernetics. The Queen informs Dimitri that Eggman's handiwork is quite thorough and the bombs cannot be removed. As a consolation prize, they'll get microchips that'll block the detonation signal. Dimitri begrudgingly takes them and leaves. Once alone, the two get all cuddly with one another while talking about crushing their enemies. Love. Back in New Mobotropolis, Khan provides some exposition. While most of the Queen's forces are in the Dragon Kingdom, she's brought a sizable amount to secure her takeover. Sonic here is starting to get motivated, but Sally says they need to make a plan. She wants Khan to get them in touch with any resistance fighters in the Dragon Kingdom. Khan then reveals there are no resistance fighters in the area. That's intriguing. Sonic wants to head over to New Megaopolis to deal with them now. Khan actually wants him to go to see how outmatched Sonic is, and Sally reluctantly agrees, under the pretense of this being recon. On the way to the city, the two trade barbs at one another until Sonic reveals that he and Sally are not a couple anymore, something that pleases Khan. Conquering Storm rushes in to inform the Iron Queen that Sonic and Monkey Kong are coming, and these two aren't worried. In fact, they're confident they can win this. Okay, I said earlier we get back to Espio. Well, he's the star of this issue's backup story, set during the events of the main story. As Espio asks Nicole what's happening at the Colosseum, he throws a kunai and Lightning Lynx catches it. Lightning's no longer with the Destructrix and he's not here to fight. He's here on clan business, which involves informing Espio that all clans have united under the Bride of the Four Houses, aka the Iron Queen. She killed one of the clan leaders, the Bride of Rich Knights, and the others fell in line quickly. Interesting to know. We learn both Lightning Lynx and Espio are members of different clans, Conquering Storms and the Shinobi clan respectively. Lightning even brings word from Espio's leader that he is to serve the Iron Dominion. Based on Espio's reaction, it looks legit. They spot Sonic and Monkey Kong heading towards New Megaopolis. Espio says goodbye to Nicole and leaves with Lightning Lynx to intercept. Lightning even informs Conquering Storm of their approach, which she'll then pass on to the Iron Queen. So yeah, like it or not, Espio is now working for the bad guys. This issue has the job of establishing this temporary status quo. First of all, it reintroduces Monkey Kong to the audience. Like the Iron Queen and King, he's been redesigned to better fit with the comic's current visual style. He's still a jerk, but I do agree with him on one thing. The heroes celebrated too soon. They believe in the old cut off the head and the body will fall philosophy. Monkey Kong more or less lets them know that there are other psychos out there wanting to take over the Empire. This brings us to the second point, establishing the villain dynamic. The Iron Queen is the brains, the Iron King's the brawn, and Snively is a steward. By definition, a stewardship is the job of supervising or taking care of something such as an organization or property. How oddly appropriate. Then we have the relationship between Regina and Snively. They have to keep it secret from their minions. Well, Dimitri knows since he planned on using the information as leverage for his people's safety. In the end, all they got were microchips that will prevent the detonation signal from reaching their explosives. Yeah, there's got to be more to it than this. Speaking of getting screwed over, this brings us to the third point. Espio is now forced to work for the villains. Some of you might be wondering, why doesn't Espio refuse to serve the Iron Dominion? More than likely, Espio's obligated to honor his clan's choices, even if they're wrong. And if he defies their orders, it might lead to punishment. On a related note, Lightning Lynx. I didn't touch on this in the summary portion, but it's implied he was exiled from Conquering Storm's clan. He was brought back due to knowing a lot about the immediate region. You know, with all this talk about rivals and clan wars, this shines past incidents like this in a new light. That they could have known each other sometime before this and kept it hidden from their comrades. I'll touch upon this more when we get deeper into the saga. A few more random things before we wrap this up. I appreciate that Sonic is still in a downer mood after defeating Eggman and making his mind snap, and that the new threats coming along are easing him out of his funk. Mina's band, the Forget-Me-Nots, has 3 scrapped gang characters, Sharps the Chicken, Max the Monkey, and Mock the Rabbit. The original idea was to have them be part of a band which included Sonic and Vector, and it was an early idea for the first game's sound test before it was scrapped. But here, they're given new purpose. And before you say anything, I know Mina was part of a band called the Knothole Nuts in issue 134. Musicians have been known to change bands throughout their careers. Finally, there's this quick panel with Monkey Kong realizing he may have a shot with Sally. She was the one that freed him originally, and he did take a liking to her. We'll see if this goes somewhere. My final score for this issue is 7. With this long arc, it can take some time establishing things along with revealing new things about certain characters. Please note that the score is for the entire issue. I consider the backup story an extension of the main story. In fact, it could be inserted into the main story if the editing is good, since there was an Espio establishing shot. But it would more than likely detract from the main story, and it's better to focus on Espio's status change in a smaller tale. The stage is set for Sonic and Monkey Kong to engage the Iron Dominion. Will they succeed? What do you think? This saga's barely begun. Which means we'll see their humiliating defeat next time. Until then, have a good day and be safe. You know, there's something very cute and very wrong about this relationship.